Aloha everybody, it's your boy Kai from Kai's Creatures, which you might have forgotten, and well, I couldn't blame you if you did. It has been a hot minute. But long story short, a lot has changed. I had to pretty much get rid of my entire insect collection because we moved 1,200 miles to coastal Oregon from Denver, Colorado. So yeah, several tubs full of cockroaches. Couldn't do that. Not only that, but we've moved about, gosh, I lost count, 5 or 6 times in that time span. We moved from that house and we were in a hotel for a minute, and then once we got out of the hotel we went to this Airbnb, and then we got out of that Airbnb into a hotel while we waited on this other Airbnb, but then that was booked for a few days during what was supposed to be our stay, so we went to a hotel, and then we went to that Airbnb, and then that place was horrible, so we had to come back to the original Airbnb we were in. Yeah. Needless to say, between that, trying to establish a career, trying to get settled here, it's been an odyssey. So yeah, between all the situational, familial, emotional stress and trying to build an art career here and like all the things that have been going on, I darn near gave up the whole shtick altogether, especially now that I really can't. I don't have the room to keep a lot of bugs in my room. My art studio, my bedroom, my everything has to be in one room, which was not the case before. But I've gotten more settled. I decided I can make room for a few buggos, and yeah, I'm feeling a lot better, so we're back. Not only am I back, but we are back with a vengeance, because we have, don't know if you can hear it on the audio, but we have an entirely new environment to explore. Oh yeah. And it just so happens that coastal Oregon is one of the tide pooling capitals of Earth. So yeah, this area is actually severely underrated as far as wildlife goes, particularly invertebrate wildlife. I, like many others, am guilty of underestimating the Pacific Northwest as far as the amount of bugs and things that can be found here. Because people think of Oregon as cold and cloudy, so of course there's not going to be a lot of bugs, right? But here's the thing, it's not that cold. What it isn't is ever freezing. It's always cooler than places like, say, Colorado, which suffers from pretty warm summers, which the bugs love. But the fact that there's a all winter long hard freeze, they don't love. So despite the warm temperatures in the summer, the cold temperatures in the winter actually it doesn't lend itself to invertebrate life. Now here, while you don't have the same level of warmth in the summer, you don't have any hard freezes in the winter either. So that means the bugs thrive here all year long. This is the temperate rainforest, which is actually a very rare biome. Most of the time you have heavy rains in an area, or heavy precipitation. It's either way up in the boreal forest, in the Arctic and subarctic, or it's down in the tropics. It's very rare that you have an area of such extensive plant growth and such heavy rainfall that is not also in the tropics. So this environment actually lends itself to a large number of rare and interesting species. So far here, without even trying, I have seen sea stars, hermit crabs, sea slaters, shield isopods, slugs, including the world famous banana slug calls this region home, leopard slugs, more snails than you can possibly count. This place is off the hook for invertebrates. So today we are just going to do a little log flipping to kind of emphasize my point. Log number 1, let's see what we've got. Yeah! Woo! Earthworms. Not that special. Oh, we got darkling beetles. Or I think that's a darkling. Let me check it out. That is definitely some manner of ground beetle, at least. I'm not sure if it's a darkling, though. Hard to tell, but little black beetles are pretty, like I said in previous episodes, pretty ubiquitous. This, however, is much more interesting. This is a flatback millipede. The exact species I'm not sure because I am new to this region, but flatback millipedes are cool. And all millipedes, as you might know, are poisonous. These, however, are significantly more so. The flat millipedes generally are the ones that produce cyanide. I'm not sure if this particular species does that. Oh, hey now. But I do know it's a thing. You see a brightly colored millipede with a flat, scaly appearance like this? Do not eat it. Of course, I wouldn't recommend eating millipedes in general, but yeah. And you can tell it's a millipede because there are 2 legs per body section. They're very different in their movement style compared to your typical round millipedes, though. So these are extremely fascinating. I love this region. This is my own home region, really. I'm originally from Fresno, California, but I grew up mostly around the Bay Area and Upper California, and it's much the same way, tropical rainforest. Or at least the Bay Area might be if they left any trees standing. So this area is actually a campground, so it's a little too clean, as a matter of fact. The only logs are so gigantic and heavy that it's almost impossible to move them, and the only rocks are like absolute boulders. So I'm gonna go to an area that's a little more untamed, where the logs are not just there to be seating, but they're actually natural logs. Keep in mind, even if I could potentially move those rocks and logs, I have to do it with one hand because camera. I actually come here all the time. I do spear throwing over here actually because I'm primal that way. Love to get down there, but there's not really any way to do that. But there are a lot of rivers and streams in this area, so yeah. We'll check out the freshwater aquatic life as well, which there is an abundance of. By the way, if you notice a bit of a quality difference compared to some of my older but not ancient content, that's because I'm not sure where my equipment even is. Like, my microphones and stuff are somewhere, but I do have a new phone, so hopefully that's good enough for the moment. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Let's see some rotten wood and medium-sized rocks. This is the Hairy Butt Trail, but I think I'm gonna go that way. You can hear, maybe there's some angry little squirrels up there. There's some squirrels up here that are not the typical gray squirrels that I saw in Denver. I'm not sure, maybe different subspecies, but they're really, really cute. Alright, this looks good. Let's see what we've got. Heyo! Did you see that centipede? Big red centipede. Big, big, big red centipede. Let me see if I can't catch it, but I'm going to use both hands. Well, dang. He got away in a hurry. I had no chance of catching up to him once I put the camera down. Luckily, I do know what that was. Scolopocryptops spinacatus, the thorn-tailed bark centipede. And they're not exactly rare in this area, though they are spectacular, so there's a pretty high chance we'll see another one. I'm actually familiar with that species already because soon after we first got here, I was flipping a few rocks and pots and logs in my aunt's garden, and to my surprise, I found a big scolopendriform centipede in what I thought was supposed to be like a cool temperate area. So, yeah, that was a surprise, so of course I researched the crap out of that almost immediately. Like, it's actually why a lot of these mosses and ferns, low-growing bushy shrubs, conifers, this honestly feels like something out of the Carboniferous. Except for the deciduous trees. But yeah, it looks like a jungle, but it's about 56 degrees right now. These kind of places are good to check because there's a lot of interesting wood-boring beetles around here. But yeah, let me get in there with a knife and see if I can't see anything interesting. I mean, look at this. It's a tree, and you could cut this up with a butter knife. This is exactly the kind of place you're going to find a lot of wood-boring insects. Sadly, didn't find much that time, but I probably could have if I kept digging deeper. But the general code of ethics when you go doing this kind of thing is to not tear things up too much. If you flip the log, put it back when you're done. If you want to dig around in some rotten wood to see if there's any insects in there, dig around a little, but don't disintegrate the whole log looking for them. Like, try to leave things as much like when you got here as possible. You know, leave only footsteps and all that. I mean, look at this. There's just like giant mats of moss just laying around under log. Oh, see, I didn't even split that on purpose. Like, this is the kind of stuff I put my best beetles in, which I do think I want to get some of those again. But yeah, let me look around in here. Oh, I saw something. Definitely saw some brand of wood boring beetle in there, but there's also termites. Whoop. There we go. See that? Definitely termites. It's one of those insects that, like, it literally couldn't possibly be anything else. Definitely don't want to bring them home. It's funny, I just had a couple pass by and ask if I was looking for mushrooms, which, if you don't know, this area is fantastic for that. We have really cool mushrooms in this area, including those little red mushrooms covered in white polka dots that everyone thinks only exist in cartoons. We have those here. And although I am a fun guy, that's not really my area of expertise. And look what we have here. This is Areolimax columbianus, the Pacific banana slug. Now this is just a little one, and this is not the super famous color phase, but they come in browns and greens as well. Much like bananas, they're not always bright yellow. And they do somewhat change with their mood. Well, this is definitely a banana slug, though. Look at that little cutie. Now, these guys get a lot longer than this. They not only resemble a banana in color, but they also get about the size of your typical grocery store banana as well. These are the superstar invertebrate of the Pacific Northwest. There we go. He's coming out a little more now. Oh, they're so shy. So these guys, despite how cool they are, they're not real popular as pets because they're not super easy to keep. I think here it would be more possible because this is, in fact, their native environment. You can get their native soil and meet their native conditions easily. Like, you could keep them outside if you wanted to. But they generally require a cooler climate than most slugs, which is, yeah, even the climate inside your house might be a bit too much for them, which is not the case with your typical slugs and snails. So these guys, they're a little difficult to keep. Check this out. Under this log, I found this teeny tiny, itty bitty millipede. I mean, this thing is tiny, like, look. So, my finger for comparison. This thing is itty bitty, but it's definitely a millipede. If you look close, you can see the legs. So I don't know if this is a different species than the flat millipede I found earlier, or if this is just a tiny neonate baby. Like, but oh my gosh, look at it! My fingertip absolutely swamps it. This thing's got to be, I don't know, I'd say maybe 10-12 millimeters long. So tiny. Oh, I love millipedes. Let's see if I can't get it zoomed in a bit, but I kind of doubt it. Yeah, no, it's too small to zoom in on. You know, it's funny, I said we'd probably find another one of those centipedes since they're very common around here, but we are at the end of the trail, and I haven't found another one yet. And unfortunately, the land here kind of comes to a pretty hard stop. You know, I'd have to say, compared to hot, dry, overdeveloped Denver, this is an alright place to live. Oh, there's a small friend down here. Hey! You okay, buddy? I was originally going to head out towards that trail behind those rocks there, but I want to get our little fuzzy friend here back home and make sure he's alright. I'm bringing home a baby bumblebee. Something, something. Somebody let me get fat over the last year or so. But I find that When I found out who that was, I'm gonna kill him. Never mind. He's already dying. Man, going up that hill's a lot harder than going down. I feel bad for all the old people who had to go up to school uphill both ways. So yeah, this was a fairly unprepared, spontaneous trip. And as you can see, I'm finding bumblebees, I'm finding myriapods, I'm finding mollusks, I'm finding all kinds of invertebrates, termites, beetles, everything. And this is February 1st that I'm recording this. We are in the bowels of winter right now. And yet I'm surrounded by jungle. Maybe next time we'll take the hairy butt trail. God, I'm so mature. Home sweet home. Just gonna use some butterfly nectar I had on hand specifically for pollinating insects, so it should be like Gatorade for bees. Nurse, I have a patient who needs an IB stat.
What?
An IB. I'm doing a thing for a bumblebee. I knew that wouldn't work. So I'm just going to spoon some of this nectar onto this dish and just have them step through it, because bees, much like butterflies, can actually taste through their feet. So he should realize it's there. Come on, little buddy. Drink up. There we go. Yeah, that's yummy, huh? Yeah, I knew he would notice in a second. Just gotta get his little feetsies in there. Aren't they cute? Best case scenario, he flies away here. Worst case scenario, I have a new pet. Temporarily, at least. Oh, look at your little proboscis. Hey, how you feeling, little guy? You got some nectar in you. You feeling any better? You're moving around a lot more. Maybe there's a bit too much. It's probably kind of sticky. Sorry. Get that. I absolutely love how docile these insects are. Oh! 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 There's some energy there. There's some wing flapping. You gotta wash his hands. Gotta wash his hands. Yeah, sorry, I made you step all up in that, huh? Just don't sting me, please. I don't think he's going to, though. He's a good boy. One of his wings is folded in quite a bit. I wonder if it's damaged. Careful, don't fall through the waffle holes in his table. Ah, buddy. Oh. Aw. He's doing better. He's clearly doing better. He's moving around now. He was dead still the whole way here. Any chance of you flying away, buddy? Or are you, you pretty content to stay here? Still doesn't seem to have a lot of strength, so maybe I keeps it. He's clearly doing better, so that's good enough for me. Yup. It's good to be back. But that's gonna be it for today, so I will catch you all next time, whenever the heck that is. What was that I used to say all the time? Oh yeah, take care of each other, take care of the earth, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hey, I finally remembered to say it! Even though I'm not really building a career off of this anymore, so I don't care as much. But, do it nonetheless. Take care, everybody.